If you're anything like me, then you love a good time travel movie. In fact, I would go so far as to say that the best time travel movies are my favorite films of all time. Whether it's a movie about going back in time to prevent a terrible event from happening, or going forward in time to see what the future holds, there's just something about the excitement of watching someone travel through time that makes for one of the most thrilling movie genres out there. The following list of the most thrilling time travel movies ever is one that I put together after watching just about every single film in this genre over the years. There are some older films on here that are absolutely phenomenal, and there are also some newer films on here that have really impressed me as well. Either way, this is one list of movies that you don't want to miss out on. Or the future you might come back in time and kick your butt for missing out, so make future you happy and stick around. Before we jump into our list of the most thrilling time travel movies ever, let's take a quick look at a trivia question. Which one of these movies is a science fiction movie that involves a time travel experiment gone wrong, sending people to the past and future, with some ending up in different periods of time in their own bodies? A. Back to the Future. B. The Butterfly Effect. C. The Time Machine. Hang in there to find out the answer, and feel free in the meantime to put yours in the comments below. Also, if you're not already, be sure to subscribe and ring that bell. And here we go. Number 10, Looper 2012. It's the year 2044, and time travel has been invented. Using this technology, criminals are sent back in time to be killed by a hitman known as Looper. When the Looper, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, meets his future self, Bruce Willis, he discovers he's been sent back to be killed by himself. This is a time travel movie that involves the main character, played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, going back in time to kill people who are sent back in time from the future. This is one of the most thrilling time travel movies ever because of how much you actually get to learn about time travel and the rules behind it. The film also has some pretty notable stars, including Bruce Willis, Emily Blunt, and Jeff Daniels. Number 9, The Terminator 1984. In the year 1984, a time travel experiment goes terribly wrong when a computer system known as Skynet uses the technology to send a killer robot back in time to kill Sarah Connor, played by Linda Hamilton. The only person who can stop it is Kyle Reese, played by Michael Biehn. The Terminator is one of the most thrilling time travel movies ever because it's a film that captured so many imaginations in its day. It also helped start off one of the most iconic movie franchises of all time, back to back. This movie also features Arnold Schwarzenegger in his action star prime. Number 8, Time Crimes 2007. A man accidentally uncovers a time travel portal in the woods and takes a tumble through it. He ends up back in time a few hours earlier. He soon discovers that things aren't exactly as they should be, and he soon realizes he's the target of the person who originally used the portal. In Spanish, with English subtitles, this film was released to good reviews and is considered one of the most thrilling time travel movies ever because how fast-paced it is. This is also an interesting movie because it plays on how easy it can be to change the course of events, especially when someone has the ability to travel back in time. This movie is also part of the reason why we now have an annual movie award known as the Saturns. This movie received multiple nominations for the Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Horror Films, which now gives out awards that are known as Saturns. The more you know. Number 7, The Time Traveler's Wife 2009. Based on a novel by Audrey Niffenegger and starring Rachel McAdams and Eric Bana, this is a time travel movie that involves love across time between a man who travels through time involuntarily and a woman who finds herself following through time in order to be with him. This film also features some pretty interesting science fiction elements like parallel universes and a rare genetic disorder known as chronodysplasia. This is one of the most thrilling time travel movies ever because it's so emotional. It's also one of the better romantic films in this genre. Number 6, Primer 2004. This is a low-budget sci-fi film about 4 friends who construct their own time machine in a garage using spare parts they buy at a local hardware store. However, things go wrong when they test their machine out on one of their friends, sending him back in time for several days before returning to his own body. This is one of the most thrilling time travel movies ever because it's one of those low-budget films that has a lot of thought put into it. It's also very impressive in terms of the cast, which includes Shane Carruth, David Sullivan, and Aaron Moorhead. Number 5, Time After Time, released in 1979. Based on a novel by Carl Alexander, this film is about Jack the Ripper, played by Malcolm McDowell, who uses H.G. Wells' time machine to escape to the future in 1979 San Francisco, where he meets up with Wells' David Warner. This is one of the most thrilling time travel movies ever because it's really suspenseful and high energy throughout all its running time. But you also get to see some of the great science fiction influence elements as well. The story takes a lot of twists and turns, and overall this is just an exciting movie to watch. Number 4, Donnie Darko 2001. A troubled teen named Donnie Darko, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, sees a man in a rabbit costume who tells him that the world will end in 28 days and he must bust all of his clocks before then or he'll die. After some strange occurrences begin happening around him, he soon realizes that time travel is involved. This is one of the most thrilling time travel movies ever because of its odd uniqueness, not generally atypical in the sense, and how much it makes you think. It's also very emotional and features a great performance by Jake Gyllenhaal. Number 3, Assassin's Creed 2016. We'll start with an action-packed time travel movie that's based on a video game series of the same name. Although it might not be considered one of the best films ever made, it's definitely one of the most thrilling time travel movies in recent years, and it has a great cast to boot. We follow a man named Callum Lynch who must relive the memories of his ancestor Aguilar in order to find a way to thwart the plans of evil corporations that want to control humanity. Callum is rescued from his own execution and learns that he is a descendant of a long line of assassins. He embarks on a journey to find his own killer, and in the process discovers an underground society of assassins. This movie is full on action, and if you're looking for an exciting time travel movie, then this is the one to check out. Number 2, Time Bandits 1981. Terry Gilliam's classic time travel movie Time Bandits is a film that many people probably haven't seen, and yet it's one of the most thrilling time travel movies of all time. The film follows a young boy who, along with some dwarves that he has befriended, travels through time in order to stop a criminal named Evil from conquering the world. This film was a critical success, and it was nominated for several Academy Awards, and is inspired by the creation of the animated series The Legend of Zelda for television, and is considered by many to be one of the best films ever made. Time Bandits is brilliant in its use of comedy and fantasy, and it's a movie that I would recommend to any fan of science fiction movies. Before we get to number 1, let's look back at the trivia questions from earlier. Which one of these movies is a science fiction movie that involves a time travel experiment gone wrong, sending people to the past and future, which some end up going in different periods of time in their own bodies? Number A, Back to the Future. B, Butterfly Effect. C, Time Machine. The answer is A, Back to the Future. It involves a time travel experiment gone wrong, sending people to the past and future, with some ending up in different periods of time in their own bodies. The movie has spawned many sequels over the years and even inspired a short-lived animated series called Back to the Future, the Animated Series, which aired on television from 1991 to 1992 and was developed by Disney Television Animation. Now let's get back to our list of the most thrilling time travel movies ever. Number 1, Primer 2004. Some people may argue that Primer is the most thrilling time travel movie ever made, and I would be hard-pressed to disagree. This film was written, directed, and produced by filmmaker Shane Carruth and tells the story of 2 engineers who build a time machine in their garage. They use the device to make some money on the stock market, but things go wrong when they realize that their actions are making it impossible for them to get back to their own time. The future is not what it used to be. In the time of hyper-advanced technology, anything is possible if you can figure out how to do it. That's what Corbin Dallas, played by Bruce Willis, does for a living. As the top hired gun for his ex-girlfriend, played by Mila Jovovich, and a shady corporation, he specializes in getting things done that people haven't even figured out how to dream of yet. He's their man when someone or something needs to be getting rid of permanently, if you know what I mean. But when Dallas is assigned a hit on a seemingly harmless old man, played by Ian Holm, he soon realizes that his future just crossed paths with his past in the most dangerous way possible. Because this old man is really an advanced alien life form who has come back in time to stop humanity's destruction at the hands of a monstrous alien race known as the Mandashawans. And if Corbin doesn't help him succeed, the entire human race will be annihilated. As they try to determine what is going on and how they can possibly fix things, things become even more complicated when one of the engineers starts using his knowledge of what will happen in the future in order to benefit from it. The film is intense, challenging, and deeply thought-provoking, so I would highly recommend watching this time travel movie right now. Travel to the future and watch it right now. That does it for the most thrilling time travel movies ever. We hope you liked it. Agree or disagree? Feel free to leave a comment down below. And be sure to subscribe, comment, and like this clip. We put out videos several times a week, so ring that bell to be notified when we post new content. And thanks for watching.